welcome back to Rosetta Vera. This is Danielle. Today I'm going to be swatching the Jane Davenport palette pastels. I picked this up in my Spellbinders haul. So this is just pastels that are kind of in a, I mean, for lack of a better way to explain it, like an eyeshadow palette. I'll put the price I paid for them right here. Let's see. I need a scissor to open these, maybe. So you can use these to like put soft effects on your pieces. You can use it like to do backgrounds. You could use it like if you were trying to do a face and like blend some colors. So this is the chilled palette. So the colors here are very cool. I was trying to think of what I wanted to use to actually swatch these. You don't want to get these wet, but I was thinking probably the best way to swatch them would be with one of these kind of smudger brushes. They make makeup brushes like this too. I think they're called Artiste brushes, but they're like there's like a cheap brand also that makes these. I was thinking this is probably the best way to kind of show you what these look like. So let's open it up and take a look at the colors. So you have, let's see, 18 colors in the palette. I'm doing my math right. Is that 18? Yeah, that's 18. So you have 18 colors in the palette. Like I said, all of them are relatively cool, even though you have some greens here also. It comes with a swatching card, so you can swatch the colors and kind of know how they show up on paper. This is kind of a thick card stock. I'm sure they'll show up different on different grains of paper, so that's something to keep in mind too, that what they look like on here may look different on whatever paper you're using them on, so you might want to test them. But let's get into it. Looks like, so I'm seeing names of the colors on this card. There's no names on the front of this palette. Let's see. There's no names on the back of the palette. So I guess I have to do a little guessing about what color goes where, because the color names don't necessarily line up in a way. They're like Serenity Now, Meditation. I'm not sure what that really means. I see Deep Slate. No, that's Deep State. Oops. I see Blue Steel. So Blue Steel, if I am looking at this correctly, I think we need to swatch this way. I think. Because that's blue. If I flip it around the other way, Blue Steel will land there. So I think this is the way to swatch these, but they could have done a better job of making that clear. And that's actually the palette upside down. So let me adjust the light a little bit and then we'll get into swatching. Okay, I'm back. You probably hear the Canadian geese in the background. There's nothing I can do about them. They're just aggressive. So let's start with what I think is easy peasy. And I'm gonna touch lightly here to get some color on there. Okay. That is not coming off on the cardstock. If you could see my face, you would see me deeply sighing. So that's not going to work on the cardstock. Luckily, I brought some paper with me, so let's try that. So this is just regular copy paper. So again, let's try easy peasy. I'm barely getting color. I don't know, I'm just not having the best of luck with these Jane Davenport products. Let's try Surreal. I mean, it's something there, it's just really, really light. This moment, I put a little bit more there. They're like really hard to buff. Like, I feel like it's just going everywhere, and it really may depend on the paper you're using. Let me stop and go do a little research. Let me go to her website, because right about now I'm not feeling the love. Like, I feel like I gotta really, really work. I mean, like, that looks pretty, it's very blushy and everything, but you know what, let's pause. Let me go do a little research and I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. I did a little research. So I went on Jane Davenport's website. First of all, you can't swatch on the attached swatch card unless you lay down some kind of acrylic paint or something, because it's too satin, and they were aware of that, and she's basically suggesting you put some what I always say this word, gesso, some gesso or some acrylic down before you actually swatch out the colors, so that they have something to stick to. Yeah, so I just copied the names onto some copy paper so we can get the swatches done, and I guess I'll figure out what to do with this later. The other thing is, I have the palette upside down. This is how the colors actually go. The green's on top. That green is actually easy peasy. So I guess it's good that the colors didn't stick to the card. So, her recommendations on how to apply this is basically to buy her blender set, which doesn't look much different than an average makeup blender. So I would say, if you want to save a couple of dollars, you can go to Shop Miss A and get some blending sponges and some eyeshadow applicators, really, really cheap. I'll put Shop Miss A's information in the box below. And I guess we'll just get ready to swatch these on some copy paper, since you can't swatch them on the card. So I'm just gonna try to clean off my brush on a little tissue on the side as I'm going along. Maybe we'll get something artistic out of this. So we're gonna start with easy peasy. I guess that's supposed to be pea green. I just used a basic Staples gel pen to write the name, so that's basically what you're getting there. We have Surreal. We have This Moment. In her videos, she recommends using like a little sponge thing to get off the excess product. Again, Shop Miss A has those kind of sponges, so you could get one. I have one for eyeshadows, like to clean my brush in between colors. I'll put links to the things I'm talking about. Next we have Cool Girl. We have Roll My Eyes. We have Platonic. So as we're going along, we can see some colors are showing up a little stronger than others. We have Calm Mind. We have Serenity Now. We have Deep State. We have Slow Down. Let's see. This is a grayish color. I can see it from where I am. I don't know if that's showing up on the camera really strongly. We have Blue Steel, which is really, it looks purple in the pan. It's a kind of a blurple. We have Take a Breath. We have Smooth. Add a little bit more there. We have Meditation. I think I want to add a little bit more on that one too. We have Dreamer. We have Aura. We have Tune In. And then finally we have Mindful. So that's all 18 colors in the Jane Davenport palette Pastels. This is the, again, the Chilled palette, and there are 3 other palettes. There's 2 other matte palettes like this, and then there's one that's kind of a duochrome kind of thing, and that's got a little more sparkle to it. So I mean, swatching these out, they look pretty. I mean, there's some colors that look really similar, but they do look pretty. And again, this is copy paper. It will look a little bit different on paper with a different grain. I'm trying not to be too annoyed with this. I do think they look pretty. I know that if I was using the eyeshadow applicator, I could get things even more, not detailed, less diffused. So you can get something that's a more intense color. Like this blender enables you to kind of blend things out and diffuse them really pretty. So if you wanted something that's a little more intense, you might use more of an eyeshadow applicator. You can use your fingers in this, but to me, it depends on how you like to work. Like if you like to work clean, you might not want to use your fingers, because then there's always a problem of you putting your hand on your work and messing something up. So you might prefer a blender or like a blending sponge or the eyeshadow applicators or something like that, just so you can have a little more control and also work clean. I don't think I paid that much for this. Like I did show you the price earlier. I mean, so I don't feel like I didn't get my money's worth. I think the major problem I have with this palette is kind of the same problem I had with the glitzy markers, with the fountain pens, which I've decided I'm not even going to do a video about because they were so annoying to get started, is that there's not enough instructions. And I mean, the stuff is sold in your local Michaels, and not everybody automatically knows what to do with this, or knows like what tools you need to buy with this, or like knows that, you know, you need to kind of buff it out to make it pretty. So they can get really frustrated with this. I mean, for a person like me who kind of knew what to expect and still got frustrated with kind of getting started with these, I mean, I kind of understand why they're on clearance. So do I think I'll use this? Yes. I mean, I definitely see colors I like. I like the Serenity now. That's really, really pretty. And like I said, as I'm buffing out the colors and how they look on the paper now, I'm like, oh, this is really pretty. I can definitely see some applications in using this. But I just wish that I didn't have to go watch a video in order just to swatch them. I mentioned in my haul video that I also bought the fountain pens. They were $1 each, and yes, I know I only paid $1, so why am I complaining? But it wasn't really even clear how to get them started. Like there was a booklet that says like, here's the instructions, and it was like, put this and this, and then they didn't work. And then I had to go find a video of someone like walking through it so that I could understand what I did wrong. So maybe I'll do a short on my thoughts on these, because I don't think they warrant a whole video. But even like these, like I said, the glitzy markers, it wasn't really clear how to use, how to get started. And I think that's my biggest criticism for the things I've opened so far and played with. And that's my criticism here. I mean, even like giving me a swatch card that has names on it, but there's no names on the actual palette. I mean, you could have even stuck a little, you know, a little sticker on the back that named them. It's not even on the box. Yeah, the names aren't even on the box. So it's like, I kind of had to guess, and then I guessed wrong, and then watch the video and figure out where I was wrong. I mean, the fact that you give a swatch card that you can't even use straight out the box with this, there's some stuff here that's not appealing to me. There's some stuff in the packaging and execution that's not working for me. that doesn't mean that I'm saying that the products are necessarily bad. I was so on the glitzy markers. This I like better than the glitzy markers. I expect that I'll like the watercolors and the watercolor markers better. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah. So for what I paid for them, I don't feel like I got ripped off. I don't feel like I wasted my time, but I probably would say catch this on sale versus paying full price. Or you know what, maybe you have more experience with these pastel palettes than I do, and you jumped right in and you were fine. But I just think for a person who may not have that much of a background, it could be a little bit of annoyance. Like I said, as soon as I looked at the card, I was kind of confused, and then wasn't that surprised that I couldn't swatch on it. Yeah. All right, I'm rambling. We know that means it's time for me to end the video. But again, these are the Jane Davenport palette pastels, the Chills palette. And these are 18 matte pastels. You can use them in different projects. Again, the colors are really pretty. We've talked about my feelings on naming things, names that have nothing to do with the colors, and how confusing that can be. So I'm not even going to talk about that, because I'd rather you say blue, turquoise blue, versus roll my eyes or serenity now. I don't know what that means. I think that's my, you know what, let me stop. Because I do want you guys to understand that I do like the colors. It's just some execution here I'm not vibing on. But with that, thank you for stopping by and spending time with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye.